Robyn's son Dayton and Janelle's son Logan are residents of two opposite worlds, existing on the same family tree but living in different realities. One is successful, independent, and thriving in the neon glow of Las Vegas, while the other is seemingly trapped under his mother's wing, confined to an RV parked in the chaotic dirt of Flagstaff. But rumors are swirling, darker and more hopeful than anything we have seen on the show. Insider chatter suggests that after the tragic passing of Garrison, Logan made a silent, ironclad vow to protect the remaining siblings, regardless of whose womb they came from, including Robyn's children. We are hearing whispers of a plan, a secret offer made in the shadows where the cameras don't roll. Has Logan secretly offered to extract Dayton from Coyote Pass and bring him to the sanctuary of Las Vegas? Why is Robyn reportedly terrified of letting Logan get anywhere near Dayton? In today's video, we are going to expose the secret bond between these two brothers and the rescue mission that could tear the Brown family apart once and for all. Before we dive deep into these exclusive theories and insider reports that are shaking the foundation of the Sister Wives community, make sure you hit that like button. It helps us get this truth out to more people. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on notifications. You do not want to miss the updates we have coming down the pipeline regarding the collapse of Kody and Robyn's empire. To understand the magnitude of what is happening right now between Logan and Dayton, we have to look at the tale of two sons. This is not just a story about geography. It is a story about psychological warfare and the battle for autonomy. On one side, you have Logan Brown. Fans often refer to him as the true patriarch of the family, the man Kody should have been. Logan grew up carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. As the eldest of the original bunch, he was making breakfast for his siblings, getting them to school, and acting as the emotional anchor while Kody was busy running between houses. But Logan did something brilliant. He saw the writing on the wall earlier than anyone else. He realized that to survive, to truly live, he had to detach. He moved to Las Vegas. He excelled in his education. He found a partner in Michelle, and he built a life completely separate from the toxic vortex of the reality show. Logan represents success. He represents the possibility that you can come from a chaotic polygamous background and still end up normal, stable, and happy. He is the threat to Robyn's narrative because he proves that you don't need Kody and you don't need the family pot to thrive. Then you have Dayton. Poor Dayton. When we first met him, he was bright, he had quirks, but he had potential. He was an artist, he had dreams, and he had a desire to explore the world. Remember when the family moved to Flagstaff? The official reason was Kody's restlessness, but we all know the theory that has been confirmed by practically every eagle-eyed viewer. The move was for Dayton. Robyn couldn't bear the thought of Dayton going to college in Arizona alone, so she uprooted the entire family, destroying the financial stability they had in Vegas, just to hover over him. And where is Dayton now? Is he thriving in a corporate job? Is he traveling the world? No. According to the latest visual evidence and reports from the ground at Coyote Pass, Dayton is living in an RV in Robyn's driveway, not in the main house, not in his own apartment in town, but in a vehicle parked a few yards away from his mother's watchful eye. It is a striking, heartbreaking contrast. Logan is the king of Vegas, living in a pristine home with boundaries of steel. Dayton is the prince in the tower, except the tower is a recreational vehicle, and the dragon guarding him is his own mother. We have to talk about the psychology of this setup before we get to the explosive new information about Logan's intervention. Why is Dayton in that RV? Robyn claims it's for his independence, a stepping stone, but let's look at this with a critical eye. Putting your adult son in an RV on your property isn't giving him independence, it's putting him on a long leash. It creates an illusion of freedom. He has his own door, his own key, but he relies on the main house for resources, for emotional validation, and likely for financial support. It is the ultimate helicopter parenting move. By keeping him close, Robyn ensures that Dayton never encounters a worldview that contradicts hers. If Dayton were to move to a dorm or an apartment with roommates, he might hear things. He might hear that Kody is a narcissist. He might hear that his mother is manipulative. He might make friends who ask, "Why does your mom call you 10 times a day?" Robyn cannot risk that. She needs Dayton isolated. She needs him to believe that the outside world is scary and that the only safe harbor is the Shira Chateau. But here is where the story shifts. Here is where the narrative turns from a tragedy into a potential thriller. For years, we thought Logan had checked out. We thought he washed his hands of the drama, and honestly, no one blamed him. He attends the weddings, he shows up for the big events, but he stays out of the mud. However, insider reports and new theories emerging from sources close to the extended family suggest that the dynamic changed the moment Garrison passed away. Grief does things to people. It rearranges priorities. Garrison's death was a wake-up call for everyone, but specifically for the older boys. The rumor is that Logan looked at the wreckage of his family, looked at the pain his siblings were in, and realized that staying neutral was no longer an option. He couldn't save Garrison, but he could save the others. And who is the most vulnerable person left in that family? Who is the one most at risk of losing himself completely to the darkness of that house? It's Dayton. Let's analyze the secret connection. We have to go back in time to understand the bond these two share. We often forget, because the show focuses so much on the division between the wives, that the kids were often much closer than the parents. In the early Vegas years, Logan was the big brother to everyone. There are clips, if you dig deep into the archives, of Logan interacting with Robyn's kids with a kindness and patience that Kody rarely showed. Dayton, being the oldest of Robyn's brood, would have looked up to Logan. Logan was the cool older brother who was going to college, who was starting a life. There is a distinct possibility, supported by behavioral analysts who watched the show, that Dayton wanted to be Logan. He wanted that path. He wanted a degree, independence, and respect. But while Janelle pushed Logan to fly, Robyn clipped Dayton's wings. Now let's bring in the exclusive theory that is starting to gain traction. We know that Dayton has spent time in Las Vegas. We know the family has connections there. The theory suggests that during the times when the cameras are down, Logan has been quietly maintaining a line of communication with Dayton. This isn't just sending a birthday text. We are talking about a lifeline. The speculation is that Logan sees exactly what is happening in that RV. He sees a young man with potential rotting away in the shadow of a horde. Logan, being the logical, strategic man he is, wouldn't come charging in with guns blazing. He wouldn't scream at Kody and Robyn on camera. That's not his style. He would play the long game. The theory posits that Logan has secretly offered Dayton an out. This could look like a job offer in Vegas, connected to Logan's network. Or perhaps a standing offer to stay in a guest room or a rental property that Logan manages rent-free, just to get him out of Flagstaff. Why would Logan do this? Because he knows that as long as Dayton is in that RV, he is under the influence. He is being fed the narrative that the rest of the family hates him, that the OG3 kids are enemies, and that Kody is a saint. Logan is the only one with the credibility to shatter that illusion. If Logan, the most successful and respected brother, reaches out and says, "Hey, I have a spot for you, no strings attached," that is a powerful message. It contradicts everything Robyn has likely told Dayton. But here is the catch, and this is where the news, or rather the whispers, get really interesting. Why hasn't Dayton left yet? If the door is open, why is he still in the RV? This brings us to the interception theory. We know Robyn controls the flow of information. We have seen her silence Kody. We have seen her rewrite history in real time on the couch confessionals. Is it possible that Robyn is actively blocking or discouraging this communication? Think about it. If Dayton gets a text from Logan and he mentions it to his mom, what is Robyn's reaction? She doesn't say, "Oh, that's nice of him." She likely spins it. She might say, "Logan doesn't understand our family anymore," or "They just want to use you to gossip about Kody," or "You aren't ready for a big city like Vegas. Remember your struggles?" She weaponizes her concern. She uses Dayton's own vulnerabilities, his autism, his past challenges against him to keep him fearful of the exit door. Furthermore, we have to consider Kody's role in this blockade. Kody views loyalty as submission. Logan is not submissive. Logan is his own man. To Kody, Logan represents a failure of his patriarchy because Logan succeeded without him. If Dayton were to leave the loyal circle of Robyn's house to join the disloyal, independent faction of Logan, Kody would view it as a betrayal of the highest order. It would be a mutiny. Therefore, Kody and Robyn have a united interest in keeping Dayton and Logan apart. They cannot afford to let the two oldest sons compare notes. Imagine the conversation. Logan could tell Dayton the truth about the family finances. He could explain how Janelle and Mary were financially abused. He could explain the reality of the situation without the emotional manipulation Robyn uses. That conversation is the most dangerous thing in the world to Robyn Brown. Let's dig deeper into the RV situation, because it is the physical manifestation of this conflict. Viewers have noted for months that the RV looks stagnant. It doesn't look like a bachelor pad. It looks like a storage unit with a bed. There have been sightings of Dayton looking disheveled, looking unhappy. This fuels the narrative that the rescue mission is urgent. This isn't just about Dayton moving out. It's about his mental health. The environment at Robyn's house is reportedly incredibly tense. With the other wives gone, Kody's anger is concentrated under one roof. Dayton is in the blast zone. Logan knows what Kody is like when he's angry. He lived through the early years. He knows the chaos. The idea that Logan is sitting in Vegas, aware that his little brother is trapped in a pressure cooker with an increasingly erratic Kody and a smothering Robyn, is what gives credibility to these reports of a secret intervention. There is also the financial aspect to consider in this theory. We've heard reports that Kody and Robyn are facing financial difficulties. The art on the walls, the jewelry, the property taxes, it all adds up. Dayton contributes to that household, perhaps not with a massive salary, but with his presence, which justifies filming, and potentially with any disability benefits or income he generates. If he leaves, the household shrinks, the dynamic shifts. But more importantly, if he leaves to go to Logan, the narrative control is lost. Robyn can no longer claim she is protecting him if he is thriving elsewhere. We must also look at the timing. Why now? Why are these rumors surfacing months after the tragic loss of Garrison? Because grief has a way of breaking silence. The siblings have rallied around each other. We saw them together at the memorial. We saw the photos. Did you notice the body language? The older boys were a unit. It is highly probable that during those somber moments, away from the parents, conversations happened. Promises were made. We won't let anyone else sink. We have to look out for each other. It is entirely plausible that Logan pulled Dayton aside during a family gathering, or perhaps gave him a burner phone, or found a way to say, "You have a place with me." The seed was planted. And now we are watching the germination of that seed. And Robyn is frantically trying to stomp it out. The tension is building. We are seeing a cold war between the ideology of independence that Logan represents and the ideology of codependence that Robyn enforces. Dayton is the prize in this war. He is the undecided voter. He is from the swing state. And right now, he is sitting in that RV, likely weighing his options, likely feeling the pull of his big brother's influence against the guilt-tripping of his mother. We have to understand that this potential alliance between Logan and Dayton is not just a family matter. It is an ideological threat to everything Robyn has built. To understand why Robyn is reportedly so terrified of Logan influencing Dayton, we have to look at the fundamental difference in how these two men operate. This brings us to the fear of influence. Robyn operates entirely in the realm of emotion and victimhood. Her currency is tears, fear, and the constant assertion that the world is a dangerous place that requires a protector, specifically Kody. She keeps her children close by convincing them that they are not capable of navigating the harsh realities of life without her guidance. We have seen this time and time again. She speaks for them. She interprets their emotions. She creates a buffer between them and reality. Then you have Logan. Logan is the antithesis of this. Logan operates in the realm of logic, pragmatism, and self-sufficiency. He is the scientific method to Robyn's superstition. If Dayton were to spend a week with Logan, just 1 week, the fog of Robyn's manipulation would begin to lift. Logan wouldn't coddle Dayton. He would ask him questions that Robyn never permits. He would ask, "What is your 5-year plan? How much money have you saved? Why do you think you can't live on your own?" These are dangerous questions. They are questions that act as a solvent to the glue Robyn uses to keep her nest intact. Robyn knows that Logan is smart. She knows he sees through the facade. She knows that Logan doesn't buy the poor Robyn act because he lived through the years where he had to parent his siblings while Robyn consumed Kody's time. She fears Logan because Logan represents the truth, and the truth is the one thing that cannot be allowed inside the She-Ra Chateau. But there is a darker layer to this fear, one that involves Kody. Reports suggest that Kody is actively complicit in keeping the brothers apart, but for a different reason. For Kody, it is about ego and control. Kody has lost the respect of his older sons. Garrison, Gabriel, Payton, they all saw the man behind the curtain. They challenged him. But Dayton? Dayton has been relatively quiet. Dayton has remained under the umbrella. In Kody's twisted version of patriarchy, he needs Dayton to remain dependent to validate his role as the provider and the head of the household. If Dayton leaves the RV and goes to Logan, he is essentially swapping patriarchs. He is choosing Logan's model of masculinity over Kody's. Kody hates Logan's independence because it highlights his own failures. Logan managed to build a stable marriage and a stable financial life without plural marriage, without chaos, and without demanding loyalty every 5 minutes. If Dayton goes to Logan, he will see a model of a man who respects his partner, who pays his bills on time, and who doesn't scream at his family. Kody cannot have that comparison. He cannot have Dayton coming back to Flagstaff saying, "Dad, why don't you handle things like Logan does?" That question would shatter Kody's fragile ego. Therefore, Kody and Robyn have formed a blockade. They have likely created a narrative for Dayton that paints Logan as worldly, detached, or unsafe. They might be telling Dayton that Logan doesn't understand their special family dynamic, or that Logan has been corrupted by the outside world. It is a classic cult tactic. Demonize the outsider to keep the insider from leaving. Now let's explore the secret connection even further. How would Logan and Dayton even communicate if Robyn is monitoring the channels? This is where the theories get incredibly detailed and fascinating. We have to remember that Dayton is tech-savvy. He is a gamer. He grew up on the internet. Viewers have long speculated that if there is a breach in Robyn's fortress, it is digital. While Robyn might monitor text messages or listen in on phone calls, does she monitor Discord servers? Does she check in-game chats? There is a prevailing theory among the fandom that the brothers may have connected through these digital backdoors. Imagine a scenario where they are playing a game online, chatting through headsets. To Robyn, walking past the door, it just sounds like Dayton talking to random gamers. But in reality, he is debriefing with Logan. He is telling Logan about the fights in the house, the tension, the loneliness. And Logan is in his ear, literally and figuratively, guiding him. You don't have to live like this day. I have a spare room. Just say the word. This digital underground railroad is the most plausible method for the rescue mission to be planned. It bypasses the physical barriers of the Coyote Pass property. It bypasses Robyn's prying eyes. It allows them to build a bond that is invisible to the parents. And this brings us back to the rumors of the Las Vegas offer. Why Vegas? Aside from it being Logan's home, Vegas represents the road not taken for Dayton. Remember, Dayton loved Vegas. He had friends there. He was comfortable there. The move to Flagstaff was traumatic for him. Returning to Vegas wouldn't just be moving forward. It would be a restoration of the life that was stolen from him. We also have to consider the role of the other siblings in this network. Logan isn't working alone. The grapevine in the Brown family is strong among the kids. Aspen, Hunter, even the younger ones. They talk. There is a shadow network of the Brown children that operates completely independently of the parents. We saw hints of this at the wedding. We saw hints of this in their social media interactions. It is highly likely that Logan is the hub of this network. If Dayton needs a ride, Hunter could be there. If he needs money for a bus ticket, Aspen could Venmo it. The parents are playing checkers, but the adult children are playing 4D chess. They have the numbers, they have the resources, and now, fueled by the grief of losing Garrison, they have the motivation. They are not going to lose another brother to the isolation and depression that this family dynamic breeds. Let's go deeper into the specific theory regarding the job offer. One of the biggest chains keeping Dayton in that RV is financial dependence. We don't know the details of his employment, but we know he has degrees. We know he is capable. However, finding a job in Flagstaff that pays enough to live independently is hard, especially when your mother is likely discouraging you from taking anything that takes you too far from home. The rumor is that Logan has used his professional connections in Nevada to line something up for Dayton, a job that fits his skill set, a job where he wouldn't be Robyn's son or a reality TV star, but just Dayton. This is crucial. To escape, Dayton doesn't just need a place to sleep, he needs a purpose. Robyn gives him a purpose as her child. Logan is offering him a purpose as a man. Imagine the conflict this creates inside Dayton. He is torn. On one hand, he has been conditioned to believe that his mother is his only true ally, that she sacrifices everything for him. Leaving her would feel like a betrayal. It would feel like abandoning her. Robyn is a master of guilt. She likely cries to him about how lonely she is, about how mean the world is to her. For Dayton to pack his bags and leave for Logan's, he has to overcome a mountain of manufactured guilt. He has to be willing to break his mother's heart to save his own soul. And Logan knows this. That is why the approach has to be gentle. That is why we haven't seen a dramatic exit yet. Logan is patient. He is chipping away at the wall, brick by brick. But why is the fear of influence so potent right now? Because the show is exposing everything. Dayton has internet access. He sees the comments. He sees the videos. He sees the world calling out his mother's behavior. For a long time, he might have dismissed it as haters. But when your own brother, the one you respect, validates what the public is saying, the denial crumbles. If Logan says, "Dayton, the way she treats you isn't normal," that carries more weight than a million YouTube comments. Kody knows this too. Kody is terrified of the Pied Piper effect. If Dayton leaves, does Aurora follow? Does Brianna follow? If the dominoes start falling at the Shira Chateau, Kody is left with nothing but an empty house and an angry wife. The control over the Tenders and the older Robyn kids is the last vestige of his power. There is also an element of projection here. Robyn often accuses the other wives of poisoning the kids against Kody. She is terrified that Logan will poison Dayton against her. But in reality, it's not poison. It's the antidote. It's the truth. And the truth is that Dayton is a grown man living in a box in a driveway because his mother cannot let go. The fear of influence is actually the fear of exposure. If Dayton gets out, he talks. He tells the world what it's really like inside that house. He confirms the rumors about the spending, the fighting, the favoritism. Dayton is a vault of secrets. Keeping him in the RV keeps the vault locked. Logan holding the key is Robyn's worst nightmare. Let's speculate on a specific incident that insiders are hinting at. Rumor has it that there was a planned visit, Logan coming to Flagstaff, ostensibly to see the parents, but with the primary mission of checking on Dayton. And rumor has it that this visit was thwarted. Perhaps Robyn claimed illness. Perhaps Kody claimed they were busy. Perhaps they made it clear that Logan wasn't welcome if he was going to stir the pot. This blocked visit might have been the catalyst that pushed the rescue mission underground. It moved the operation from a diplomatic attempt to a covert extraction plan. When you tell a man like Logan Brown, no, he doesn't give up. He strategizes. He finds another way. We must also look at the contrast in lifestyle. Logan's life in Vegas is filled with friends, travel, food, and freedom. Dayton's life in the RV appears solitary. We see him walking around the property, sometimes with Kody, but mostly alone. The isolation is palpable. Logan is offering a community. He is offering a brotherhood. The theory is that Logan has told Dayton, "You have brothers who love you. You don't have to be alone." This emotional appeal is stronger than any logic. It cuts through the noise. Robyn can provide shelter, she can provide food, but she cannot provide the brotherhood that she herself destroyed by alienating the other families. She severed the ties, and now she is terrified that the boys are tying the knot back together without her permission. The narrative of the evil OG kids that Robyn has tried to spin, that they are bullies, that they are unsafe, falls apart when you look at Logan. He is unassailable. You can't paint Logan as a villain. He's too nice. He's too responsible. He's the golden boy. This makes him the perfect agent for this mission. If it were Pardon trying to rescue Dayton, Robyn could easily spin it as aggression. But Logan is peaceful. Logan is stable. It makes it impossible for Robyn to argue against him without looking like the villain herself. As we move toward the climax of this situation, we have to ask, is Dayton ready? The fear of influence only works if the subject is willing to be influenced. For years, Dayton seemed content, but people change. Situations change. The death of a sibling changes you. It makes you realize life is short. It makes you realize that sitting in an RV waiting for your life to begin is a waste of time. The reports indicate that Dayton is waking up. He is asking questions. He is pushing boundaries. And every time he pushes, Robyn clamps down harder, which only drives him closer to Logan. It is a self-fulfilling prophecy. The tighter she grips, the more he slips away. The stage is set for a showdown. It won't be a fistfight. It won't be a screaming match. It will be a quiet morning where an RV door opens, a bag is packed, and a car pulls up. And the driver of that car might just be Logan Brown. Or maybe Dayton just drives himself away, guided by the coordinates Logan sent him. Either way, the rescue mission is active. The pieces are moving. And the fortress that Robyn built to keep the world out is about to be breached from the inside. We are now staring down the barrel of a future prediction that feels less like a guess and more like an inevitability. If the reports are true, if the secret digital channels are open, and if Logan has indeed extended the olive branch of a new life, then we are witnessing the final days of Dayton Brown's captivity. The question is no longer if he will leave, but when and how. This leads us to the most dramatic potential outcome, the midnight run. We have to predict how this plays out based on the psychological profiles we have analyzed. It won't be a televised event. There won't be a moving truck. Moving trucks signal intent. Moving trucks give Robyn time to cry, to manipulate, to physically block the driveway. No, the rescue mission will likely be a tactical strike. Picture the scene that insiders are whispering about. It's the middle of the night at Coyote Pass. The lights in the Shira Chateau have finally gone dark after another day of Kody pacing the floor and Robyn rewriting history. But in the driveway, inside that RV, the lights are low. Dayton isn't sleeping. He's packing. Not everything, just the essentials. The gaming PC, the hard drives with his art, the documents he has managed to secure. He doesn't need the furniture. He doesn't need the clutter. He just needs out. The theory suggests that Logan wouldn't drive onto the property himself. That's too risky. It would provoke a confrontation. Instead, a car waits down the road, just off the property line, in the darkness of the Flagstaff pines. Dayton steps out of the RV, locks the door one last time, and walks into the dark. He walks away from the hoarding, away from the control, and gets into the passenger seat of his brother's car. They drive off in silence until they hit the highway, and then they head west, to Vegas, to freedom. This scenario, this specific sequence of events, represents the ultimate defeat for Robyn Brown. We have to analyze why this would be the final nail in the coffin for her narrative. If Dayton leaves to join Logan, it disproves every single lie Robyn has told for the last 10 years. She has told the world that the Brown family culture was toxic, and that she had to protect her kids from it. She has told the world that Kody is a good father and the other kids are the problem. But if her own son, the one she has kept closest, chooses the toxic ex-family over her safe haven, her credibility evaporates instantly. It sends a message to the world that the problem isn't the family. The problem is her. Furthermore, consider the impact on Kody. Kody has spent years ranting about loyalty. He has disowned sons for less. But Dayton was the one he saved by moving the whole family. If Dayton rejects him to go live with Logan, the son who successfully defied Kody's patriarchal rule, it destroys Kody's ego. It proves that Kody's leadership is a failure. It proves that you cannot demand respect. You have to earn it. And Logan has earned it. Kody hasn't. The optics of Dayton fleeing the loyal house to live with the independent faction would be humiliating for Kody on a national scale. It would be the ultimate betrayal, not because Dayton is betraying them, but because he is finally choosing himself. There is also a massive financial implication here that we haven't fully fleshed out yet. We touched on it, but let's go deeper. We know Robyn and Kody are terrible with money. We know they are potentially living beyond their means. If Dayton leaves, does the show still have a reason to film at Robyn's house as much? The Tenders are too young for complex storylines. Aurora and Brianna are often in the background. Dayton was the wild card. Dayton was the adult child who justified the adult child living at home narrative. If he leaves, the household becomes smaller, less interesting, and arguably less profitable. Plus, if Dayton is contributing any rent or assistance, that vanishes. But more importantly, if Dayton leaves, he takes his story rights with him. Imagine a Dayton Unchained interview in a year or two, sitting next to Logan, telling the truth about what happened in that house. That is a PR nightmare that Robyn cannot cry her way out of. We also have to talk about the ripple effect. If Dayton leaves, the dynamic in the house shifts for Aurora and Brianna. Right now, Dayton acts as a buffer. He takes up a lot of the emotional space and concern. If he is gone, Kody's laser focus and Robyn's smothering anxiety will turn fully onto the girls. They will feel the pressure intensify. But they will also see that escape is possible. Dayton leaving breaks the spell. It shows them that the electric fence isn't real. It shows them that you can walk away and not die. You can walk away and actually thrive. This is why Robyn fights so hard to keep him. She knows he is the keystone. If he is pulled out, the arch collapses. Let's return to the brotherhood aspect, because this is the emotional core of our theory. Logan's role in this cannot be overstated. He is acting as the silent guardian. He isn't doing this for clout. He isn't doing this for a storyline on the show. In fact, he refuses to be on the show. That gives his actions purity. He is doing this because he made a promise to himself, and perhaps to Garrison's memory, that he would not let the family fall apart completely. He is picking up the pieces that Kody dropped. The theory is that Logan has already prepared the landing zone. He has the support system ready. When Dayton arrives in Vegas, he won't be alone. He will have Michelle, he will have Hunter. He will have a network of siblings who have all survived the same trauma. They have a shared language. They don't need to explain to each other why Kody is the way he is. They just know. Dayton has been starved of this validation. He has been gaslit into thinking his reality is unique. Joining the Brotherhood of the Banished, which is actually the Brotherhood of the Free, will be the most healing thing that could ever happen to him. What signs should we be looking for in the coming months? Watch social media. Watch for Dayton appearing in background shots of Logan's life. Watch for a decrease in Dayton's presence at Coyote Pass. The news and rumors are often just the smoke before the fire. We are hearing reports that filming for the next season has been chaotic, with Kody becoming more reclusive. Could this be because the bird has already flown the coop? Could it be that the rescue mission has already happened, and what we are seeing now is the fallout? It is entirely possible. The show is always months behind reality. Dayton might be sitting by a pool in Henderson, Nevada, right now, sipping a drink, finally at peace, while we are watching the old footage of him suffering in the RV. The narrative arc of the Brown family is a tragedy, but this specific thread, the Dayton and Logan thread, has the potential to be a triumph. It is the hero's journey. Dayton is the hero who has to cross the threshold, leaving the ordinary world of his mother's control to enter the special world of independence. Logan is the mentor, the Gandalf, the Obi-Wan Kenobi, providing the tools and the path. Robyn is the shadow, the force trying to hold the hero back with fear and illusion. And the audience, we are the witnesses. We are rooting for this. We are desperate for a win. After the heartbreak of Garrison, we need to see one of the boys make it out. We need to see that the cycle of abuse can be broken. And let's be honest, would Robyn ever forgive Logan? Absolutely not. This would cause a permanent schism. Robyn holds grudges like she holds on to Precious Moments figurines. She would paint Logan as the kidnapper, the corrupter. She would likely forbid the girls from speaking to him. But here is the beauty of Logan's position. He doesn't care. He doesn't need Robyn's approval. He doesn't need Kody's love. He has his own life. He is immune to their weapons. This makes him the only person capable of executing this mission. You cannot manipulate someone who wants nothing from you. As we wrap up this deep dive into the most explosive theory in Sister Wives history, I want you to close your eyes and imagine the future. Imagine a holiday gathering a few years from now. Not at Robyn's tense table, but at a rental house, maybe an Airbnb. Logan is there at the grill. Hunter is laughing. The OG3 kids are all there. And there, sitting in the middle of the group, laughing, relaxed, gaining weight, looking healthy, is Dayton. He isn't looking over his shoulder. He isn't checking his phone for angry texts from his mom. He is just being. That is the future we are fighting for. That is the future Logan is trying to build. And that is the future Robyn is terrified of. The cracks in the fortress are visible. The foundation is shifting. The RV is no longer a home. It is a waiting room. And the driver is on his way. The rescue mission is a go. So I have to ask you, the viewers, the true detectives of this show, what do you think is happening right now behind the scenes? Do you believe the reports that Logan has already made the offer? Do you think Dayton has the courage to walk away from Robyn's manipulation? Or do you think the grip is too tight and he is destined to stay in that driveway forever? I want to hear your theories. I want to hear your support. If you believe that Dayton deserves a chance at a real life, if you believe that Logan is the big brother we all wish we had, then I need you to flood the comment section. Don't just watch, participate in the movement. Type #SaveDayton in the comments below. Let's make the algorithm see it. Let's make sure the Brown family sees it. Let them know that we are watching and we are rooting for freedom. And while you are down there, if you enjoyed this deep dive and want more exclusive theories, more insider reports, and more truth-telling that you won't find on the mainstream channels, smash that like button. It helps the channel grow and helps us keep exposing the reality behind reality TV. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the bell icon so you're the first to know when the next update drops. Because trust me, when the news of Dayton's escape finally breaks, you are going to reality TV.